Dum da dum dum. Dum da dum dum dum. Keeper. Welcome back to another episode of Dome Keeper. Having a late night run here today. Checking out some new difficulties, some new modes, some new challenges before us. I've been working a little bit on trying to get my assessor up to snuff. Still feels like it's going to be a little bit behind the engineer no matter what you do with it, but maybe there's a certain build, a certain method that you can go with that makes it a little bit more effective. Either way, it's definitely interesting to try, and I'm excited to show it off a little bit here in the future. Along with that, I've played around with the Sword Dome a little bit too, and spent some time unlocking all the different gadget power-ups. So I got those all set up. So I feel like I've basically unlocked everything that's kind of in the standard Relic Hunt mode, from what I can tell at the very least. You've got a chance to check out the Drillbert mode and see that little setup there with the Madrilda treats. If you haven't done so, you should check it out. It's pretty cool. But today we're not going to be jumping on that. We're going to be just trying out some tried and true stuff with the laser and the engineer, knowing full well that while it isn't the most interesting variation compared to some alternatives, it does give us some good consistency in trying out new challenges. And that new challenge is going to be Prestige. This is a mode where we are going to be scoring points by sending home as many resources as possible before the dome falls or we leave the planet. I don't fully understand exactly what that means in the context of like how this mode ends, but I understand that the more you do, the better off you are. So we're going to check it out and see what it has to offer. I'm going to try the shield out this time. I haven't gotten a chance to use the invulnerability, but it sounds pretty good. I'm curious how it compares to the slowing effect of the repellent, which is apparently my favorite path to go. So we'll have to check it out and see what happens. Alright, we've got 4 options here. This looks like it's the default 1 countdown. Decreases each cycle as a multiplier. I guess the longer you... I'm not sure exactly how that works, but hopefully it'll become apparent. Whereas this would be potentially a very long game. If you're able to hold on for a very long time, you don't leave the planet at any point. This your cobalt will not be generated, will not be mined. You just have, like, let's say 30 to start with, and you see how long you can survive, which is kind of cool. And this one is Miner. Concentrate on the most efficient mining in a world without monsters for 20 cycles. You know, it's kind of cool to see like a high score on that side of things, but I think the overall idea of Dome Keeper is to kind of find a mix, to find a balance between the tower defense side of it and the actual resource collection. I don't feel like I'd be satisfied with my pushing for a high score on just one that only has one or the other. So yeah, for right now, as much as I like the mining side of things, I'm going to try Countdown and see how that goes. Alright, and we're back. Try this out and see what happens. So this is Countdown, and this is going to be our first attempt at Prestige. Didn't get a chance to choose a difficulty like Brutal or whatever the new one is, but should be a decent option to test our metal. And we already have a new map template. I don't know if this is specific to the game mode or if it's one that we unlocked recently. It's definitely possible that we just haven't gotten to explore it yet on either game mode. But yeah, what we're going to be looking for is our standard 4 iron to set us off for success, and we do end up getting just that. One more will do it, and we'll pull it all up here to give us a drill upgrade. Now it says in the corner there 20. We can actually just take a look at this right now. So right now 20 heart star points 10. I don't really know, but let's check this out. Prestige. Alright, score points by sending home as many resources as possible before your dome falls or you safely leave the planet. Leave this planet and go back home. So I think this is necessary in order for us to quote-unquote win and end the run. If we feel like there's a point in time we need to abandon ship, we're going to hit this one. The question is, do we have time to escape? Or is this like you can pop it at the last, and you can pop it at the last second, right before you're about to be defeated, or is this something where you should do this on before what you think your last round is going to be? We'll have to see. But yeah, the idea is prestige per wave. So that's where the modifier, the more you send early, yeah, they don't just want you to like play a normal game and at the very end just toss a bunch of stuff in. They want you to actually invest a bit. Prestige multiplier per wave. That's why the countdown aspect works. So right now it's like 20 times the value, and it probably reduces from there. Still seems silly to go for round 1, dumping any resources in. We're just going to start with the drill and go from there, but it is interesting to see that you have that option. Now we still don't have a monitor, but we know that our shield gadget is full, so we should be able to expect enemies pretty soon. There was no option to go for long cycles. I think I would have preferred that if I did have the option, but it's not going to be there. So we'll bring back 4, probably have an encounter right after that. And this will give us our carry capacity upgrade, so we're not so slow moving about with this stuff next time. We go back down into the mines. Curious to see if we get some new enemies on this map, or if we just see a different combination of what we've seen so far. So for all I could tell, the map, the first map that I played had like the kind of standard monster set, and it kind of seemed to expand from there, but we'll see. Also curious what gadgets we'll find. That can probably be like kind of the make or break for if a run is quite successful. We're going to hop back in the chair, make sure that we don't lose too much time here. It is going to be a Black Friday already coming on in. So, battle it up, shoot him down. He's going to take down our shield. We'll do a tiny bit of dome health damage, but not very much. Yeah, I like to call those guys Black Fridays because they remind me, oh, there's some points. 19. And you can increase the value if you've donated. Okay. That seems reasonable. Yeah, I like to check out, I like to call them Black Fridays because they remind me of Black Friday shoppers. They're kind of like a little dumb and dopey. They're smashing their head against the glass, and it reminds me of how crazy, I mean, I haven't seen it recently, like maybe on the news or something, but how crazy people used to be all about Black Friday deals and the promotions and stuff like that right after Thanksgiving in the United States. They, you know, they just walk into the retail and they're like banging their head against their glass. They just want to get in for the early, whoever gets in the door first can get the best deal or whatever, so they're like trampling all over each other. It's absurd. So that spectacle reminds me exactly of those guys. They're a little pudgy, a little dopey, and but they are at the same time predatory. Like you look at them and they're like, I'm gonna get you. I'm hungry. I'm ready to go. I'm gonna stop at nothing to tear you limb from limb. So that's kind of what I see with this little Black Friday mob that is running in. But we actually did get both types. Usually the base like grunt force is either a Black Friday or a Crag, and now we're seeing both of them. So very interesting. I'm curious what I want to do here. I have two options, right? So I could either ignore hostile proximity meter and just go into drill strength and hope that will carry me, or I could go, what I'm going to do is going to do 4 in speed, 2 in proximity meter, just to kind of keep an eye on that, and then I'm going to donate some iron and see how that works out for me. I want to keep the water because I'm worried about fueling gadgets as they come in, such as this strength upgrade, for example. We can't get that right now. And yeah, I want to see what happens. So just to better understand how the math works, we're going to base prestige per wave. So it says 2 now instead of 1. And we'll have to see how that affects the score. Do I get 21 points here? Does it multiply it? I don't really know. But I want to get a better understanding of this math as we go and kill this Crag, or Craig. Alright, the rocket's off. I thought we had to do the last thing to leave the planet, but here we are. It says 18. We got plus 38. Ooh, buddy, so it's 19 times 2. We want that multiplier. That gives us a really good point value. So it obviously did cost a moderate amount considering how many resources we've accumulated so far. I think it's just been 8 plus 8, maybe 16 total. So out of 16 total resources, we donated 2, which was 1/8 of our overall. But yeah, it's basically a nice little multiplier early on. I like the idea of trying to make the most of that, but of course we do want to make sure that we are being effective and being efficient and not dying early. So shield is going to be our go-to to make sure that that's consistent. And anything else that we get in excess, we might consider donating. It does add an extra element of like risk reward. I've always kind of been like that player who wants to see like how much more can I squeeze in here and there to try to get away with stuff. So I'm like willing to lose health on the dome, not because it looks pretty, but like because I know that if I just get a little bit extra now, it'll help me later. Yeah, I'm the kind of person who works towards like income values on the old tower defense games, on custom games. But yeah, in this case, it's interesting because we are actually able to squeeze in those extra resources and put them to work in a very different way. So I don't feel like I need to go for laser upgrades here because we just got the shield upgrade. And we still have till the end of the round to change this multiplier. So what do we want to do? We want to do 4 iron, or do we want to increase our mining value? How about we do this? We do a nice early 4 iron, 1 water. This brings us up to 4 on the prestige. Each one of these gives us +1 prestige. What about this? It says 18 to 19. Why is this 18? These are 4 to 5. This is 18 to 19. I'm curious what that means. Is that like... It's a multiplier. So these are plus prestige. This has a plus sign, this has a plus sign, this has a multiplier. I'll have to check it out a bit more. We'll have to see what happens. For right now, I'm expecting 18 times 4 to come out. And we'll see what happens. Go for the hit on this little gull to the right and the Craig hanging out with them. Unfortunately, the gull ran off, but we can take down the Craig real quick. And the gull will be on the right by the end, which still is handled perfectly fine by the shield we picked up. So what does it say? It says 72. So 18 times 4, 72. Yeah, that sounds right. So yeah, we got the times 4 multiplier. So it's improving the multiplier by 1. Oh, gadget time. So this is where we might want to start investing our water a bit more heavily, and now that we've got the gadget, we'll focus on that. So do we get the armor upgrade first, or do we try to see what this cobalt multiplier does? For this time around, I think we'll try the cobalt multiplier, and we might change our mind based on that info for later. This is kind of like data collection for me right now. So let's see what we get. We get Drillbert or Teleporter. Both are really good. This map could be very huge. Teleporter allows you to not only move about the map, but also allows you to bring resources through it, which is pretty cool. It's a little bit like a combination of a jetpack upgrade and a lift, but not as good as the lift, but still quite good. And then Drillbert is Drillbert. So, Drillbert time. No water to support him right now, but we can go ahead and drop him off and see what he wants to do. And we're going to try this cobalt thing. So, it says 17 to 18. Okay. So the countdown. So this extends the countdown. So we basically have one more wave where we're getting prestige, and we're also getting 1 prestige extra per, or 1x more each time around. So in this case, we'll get 4 more prestige for the next if we donate nothing else, which is not bad at all. I would say overall, though, I want to try to get the armor upgrade first, and then that's just like a bonus after that. As far as where we want this fellow to go, it's a little tough because of how we've mapped things out so far. But we want to put him to work, go ahead and send him this way, turn him around, and see what he can do with that. And then I'll just mine out the top here to keep it nice and even. I think that will cover a lot of ground. I have a little bit of time before I need to go back up top, but not too much. Nice find from Drillbert on the side there, and now we're heading back up. Could he use that? No, I would need like 4 to be able to go up top. So, to like, as a donate. So like, let's just worry about our upgrades, right? And worry about our dome, because we're the dome keeper. So we got 2 here. I think it's fine to go for this now, but also it doesn't really change too much, so battle time. Oh, a couple of shots coming in. The shield will hold for the most part. Tiny bit that we weren't able to avoid in terms of the incoming damage, unfortunately, but still very minor in the broader spectrum. And we already got that multiplier up, so yeah, we definitely want to get that multiplier nice up nice and early. but we also just want to do good overall. So it's kind of a good mix. I like that you have like an incentive to not just go for full econ. There's something that's more important in the broader macro sense. And yeah, it creates an interesting dynamic, an interesting challenge. You think about the numbers of it and kind of go from there. Nice, we did get 8. I wasn't sure. So we can go ahead and get the drill power now. Drillbird, of course, kind of carries the drill side of things. He's going to be very active once we get him to water, but we don't want him working alone. And you still need the drill power because you're going to be digging down. You want to keep that in mind, that you're not like... Even manipulating him is going to cost some drill energy, and it's going to take some effort on your part to kind of keep him in the right spot. So we'll keep going to the right through this, go back down, come back around, and we are going to be seeing another wave coming out very shortly. So there's another cobalt. Cobalt, I think, probably isn't the biggest thing to spend early, and is much more important later, as it kind of gives you continuous longevity. It's going to be good overall, and technically earlier is still better, but not nearly as much as when we donated this water and iron. So we'll hang on to this cobalt. We'll get the armor upgrades as we would, and kind of go from there. Battle time. Laser it up. We're still on level 1-1 or 0-0 if you want to look at it that way in terms of our upgrades for the laser. We've done nothing to increase our damage, the rate of travel for the laser either, but we're doing okay. I mean, we take down the Wisps 2 of the Fridays early, so we just got this big guy banging on the glass. He wants his laptop. He wants his discounted TV. And there he is. There he is. He got it. In hell. Alright, so we'll let him pass through. 270 points off the early on. I don't mind that at all. I do feel like we probably want to go to another higher multiplier pretty soon, but we want to make sure we're generating consistent resources before we consider that. And of course we have to also make sure our dome survives, because I don't think we get nearly as much value, or maybe even any value, if our dome falls before we can escape. So we have to keep the overall goal of getting out of here cleanly in mind. Yeah, I was going to go for a Drillbird upgrade, but no iron. And our resource meter is still in work in progress. So we'll go ahead and dig him down at this point, and we actually find a nice little stash here. So we'll go ahead and dig some of that ourselves and carry it all up, and then we're going to have our next battle. Dude. Wake it up. Wake it up. Yeah, this should still be plenty of time to get up top. And then we can go for a laser upgrade for sure. Level 1 laser with no speed upgrade. I'm going to drop one of these since I do not need it for what I need, and I want to get up there quick. So, already on the loose, but it's just a goal. No big deal. And... what? I swear I had 2 more. Am I crazy? I have... yeah, I have 6. I'm fine. I was looking at the 4 from the prestige point system. But we got 6. We got our upgrade, and we're going to use it. So he's going to go to the right anyways. We're just going to focus on the bubbles first and foremost, which of course you should do. But since he's going to scooch away, I'm going to finish him off real quick and then make my way to the left. Double bubble, trouble on the left, and I think we have just enough time to really avoid almost any threat from these little fellows, which feels good. Because it's like, either you handle them perfectly fine, or you take a huge amount of damage. Alright, so that was good laser upgrade purchase for sure. Is Drillbird still asleep? I just woke him up. But it's a hard work. Okay, so he's going in. He's going to hit the wall very shortly. So we're just going to go ahead and turn him around here. And away he goes. In the meantime, we need to dig right through the middle here. And we'll continue to do our standard method of skipping 2. I think there is a method where you could skip 3 and then chunk up every other block, and that would, like, as long as you can visibly see the corners, you would know that there's minerals there, but it feels like it's like just an odd pattern that's hard to just kind of get into a good rhythm on. Technically, it's probably takes less time if it's hard to chunk through stuff, but most of the stuff is maybe 2 hits anyway, so it's not a big deal. Alright, and we are getting up just in time to say hello to the next wave. And away we go. So we are going to go for laser. The alternative is we go for this prestige multiplier, which gives us 20% more for the next few waves. Yeah, it's like we could do 6 and 2. There's so many options here now. We can do 6 and 2, which will put us at a multiplier of 6. That's a 50% increase in point value right now at the most important time. Or we could give ourselves like the Drillbird upgrade. That's going to give him a lot more power and wake up, just allow us to get more resources more quickly. A lot of stuff, really. So vulnerability is only 4-2, and that's a 4-second duration too, which can help a lot. Pop that as soon as you're about to lose the absorption, or when you're taking the most damage in the wave. It's tough. I think I'm gonna go and see how the resource side of it works. As long as you can get to 30 and 2, I think this early point system might offer some value. We'll have to see. It might be foolish, it might be too short-sighted, or it might be the exact opposite, and where it doesn't really feel good in terms of putting us in a good spot now, but in the broader sense, it's kind of eyes on the prize, focusing on the goal. So we'll see. We just got a nice upgrade there. Yeah, so it counts down, and at a certain point, I think you get down to 0, and unless you're finding a bunch more cobalt, you're just going to have to be like, alright, well, time to go. And at that point, you need the cobalt for the way out. Alright, so I'm going to dig a path for Drillbert to dive into later, right there, and then I'm going to send these up. A little too heavy for me still. So 5 for now. I'm sure you guys are dying to see my HUD get upgraded again, so that I can, check out the resource status. That's something I want to do a bit more. I know it's not like, it doesn't technically have direct value, because it's just like, you should know, if you're playing actively, you should know what your resources kind of look like. But, somebody casually watching has this on another monitor or something like that, I can totally understand why you'd want to see a bit more detail. So we'll try to fix that up here in a little bit. No water for the moment, though. And I think we used our water in a pretty good way with what we were doing. Hey, look, there's some water. So just to keep Drillbert active, we're going to go ahead and send him out this way. And we got a seed. If we can just find some cobalt to put it with, that would be great. So, but right now I'm too late for the party up top, and I need to get moving. Can't even stop to dig one more hole. We really don't want to take any damage at this stage, if we can avoid it. But that's probably going to change right now when bubbles probably hit the... Alright, right now we got a Slinger. We've got... Is that a Wisp and a Gull, along with the Black Friday? We don't really have any relevant upgrades, so we're just going to go for it, and we'll see what happens. Alright. No, it's just 2 gulls. But we'll go ahead and clear the field here. Our goal is just to hit the rocks whenever we can. And then we'll take this Slinger down as we need to. It's going to take us some time. It's not going to be the fastest kill. We'll get some free damage each time he comes up. So, give it about 10, 20 more seconds here, and never mind. Laser's strong enough. I like to put it at the top. It just kind of gets it ready to roll. And we're rarely early enough to get away with stuff. We're getting like a lot of points right now, and I feel pretty good about that, even if my carry capacity isn't where I would normally want it to be and that kind of thing. So, Drillbert digging away underneath. We're bringing this up. And that'll give us a chance most likely to upgrade our health bar, to see our health bar as well. And see how much these cracks really mean. Tangibly. But first and foremost, yeah, we want to carry. And then we go health bar. And we're doing okay. It's not great, for sure, but we're doing okay. And the weird thing about cobalt is that if I wanted to, like, I would want to put a seed on this cobalt, but it takes a lot of rounds to benefit. So I'm not sure about it. I guess it's still worth, but... Actually, this guy's completely cut off, so, like, I can't really root into it if I understand how the seed works. So I'm not going to be able to build a cobalt tree off of that, which is unfortunate. But we are going to be able to get an armor upgrade when we come back. Or we can just save for that for later. Let's do the armor upgrade. That way we can invest in less military and just feel good about our overall melee mitigation. And these bricks are still kind of prohibitive. So there's really nothing I can do. I want to do a little bit more with the time I have, but frankly speaking, we've got this covered. We're just going to sit in our chair. There we go. Alright. Wisp, wisp, wisp. Don't have the movement speed yet, so we're feeling a little sluggish, but so far we haven't had to bounce back and left and right too much. We're okay. Not ideal, but okay. The bubbles are down. The rock is going to get caught, which is nice. And then we can focus on the Craig, which will hit a little bit more rapidly as we kind of leave him to his own devices. But another round with no damage taken, thanks to our upgraded shield. Feeling pretty good about that. So yeah, none of these points would have been possible if I, or not nearly as much would have been possible if I hadn't invested in the multipliers early on. And it's like you're still spending the resource either way. It's just whether you spend it before or after X other upgrade. And I feel like with the countdown being what it is, you really just want to throw that investment in early. Alright, we're going to have to check in on Drillbert here in a sec. But, alright. Gotta keep the dome. Alright, we do gotta make sure that we're, after round 20, we're really able to get what we need in terms of resources to take us off the map. Right, there's some nice water, there's some nice cobalt, and actually that cobalt is close enough for these tree roots. I could still break the tree and bring it closer. That's probably what I'll do, just to make sure it's doing what it needs to do. So, we'll go ahead and build our tree right about, well, that's not exactly what I wanted, but we'll take it. Moving on up. Little free damage for the aliens above. Enjoy it while you can. Alright, we got not too many threats. We'll be okay. 5, 2, and 1. Invulnerability time? Seems pretty good. Automatically activates an additional time when the shield runs out. Super cool. But it does cost a lot. Or we could go into the econ stuff and get ourselves another Drillbert. We could also do this point thing, but I'm kind of worried that if I dive into this too hard, it will make our situation very hard. So let's do, I mean, I kind of want laser upgrade is more important though, right? Let's do Drillbert for now. We'll get the laser upgrade and then we'll do the invulnerability shield. We're doing fine for right now. The only reason we're even taking damage is because we're late, which we'll fix that up too. So that means we can do the water. Let's see what's going on our HUD, which is always nice. And now we gotta deal with this situation. Got Slinger, got Wisp, not too bad. The Wisp is gonna be a little pesky. Oh, the bubbles too. Alright, well we're gonna take some rocks. That's the bottom line, is we're gonna take some rockets. There's not too much we can do about that. Alright, gotta hit the Craig, hit the rock, then hit the Craig some more. Okay, cool. That's gonna be tough. Okay, so I'm gonna hit this guy's rock and then run away. I should have probably been hitting him, but oh my, that's so dumb. And that's prestige mode. So let's see if we get the points at all. Your final score is, I guess you get more points if you leave. Like a bonus, presumably. Seasons? There's seasonal leaderboards. So season 1, somebody got 13.8k. Another got 32k on season 2. This was with, okay, so they had the auto cannon. and a drill, and a cloud. I'm guessing that's engineer and repellent with an autocannon to start, but I don't really know. Seems to be the build though, is repellent. People like it. And I've been a fan for a while, so I can probably go back to that. I'm not too unhappy with that idea. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of checking this out without like looking up videos and recommendations or any kind of guide. 'Cause it's cool, it's fun, and see what we can kind of do with it. I'm also curious what the incentive is to leave the world at the end, but we did make a few too many mistakes on the defensive side, took a little bit too much damage, and most importantly, we were just a little too late. We can do one more run real quick. It's pretty late by me, but, well, the dome must be kept. So we didn't keep any... Do we have any gadgets? We really didn't have any gadgets. Oh, we had drill birds, so it didn't ask us to keep any, so it's never gonna have some external factor really change the run. That's why they put... It's like ranked, basically. They've put leaderboards behind it. Yeah. I like the idea of Endless, but I'm not able to commit the time to it right now. You can't generate cobalt, so you just have as much as you have, and you can basically only repair X amount of times. Yeah, I'm not interested in Miner so much. I don't have time for Endless, so it really comes down to these two. And I think Countdown can be pretty cool, but we'll have to see. Alright, back to the same world we were before. Looks like a Black Friday will be there to greet us. So, let's get it on. So the ceiling kind of caves down a bit, so I really don't feel like I need to check out the top layer as much. Technically, there's something we might be missing there, but for the most part, I feel like we're not really too worried about it, and we could even do that corner trick if we want to. I just don't want to be like running across the top where there's absolutely no chance of anything good. So I feel like the resource collection machine and the tree are both really important. If you can get those two, there's a lot of potential value. Obviously, it's great to get Drillbird in the lift, but I think the resource generator is like a way to bring stuff into the game that normally wouldn't be available. So when our dispenser is at half, that is when it's gonna be the repellent dispenser, rather. That's the kind of the timing of when we know that we need to be back. Still a bit heavy. I'm gonna go ahead and drop one of these and another. Just focus on getting back up. I do not have a shield. I have to remember that. Countdown is still about squeezing in these resources where we can, and in fact, I'm gonna go for that 2 iron upgrade right now because I do think it's super value. But yeah. What about this? No, we'll do the repair first. I definitely think the repair is more important. Or by that I mean the melee armor. One, Craig. Gonna get a couple hits in, no big deal. And we'll move on. Time is of the essence. Nice little 40 points for us. I mean, if I think about it, that's less than 1%. That's like a fraction of a percent of what we were seeing for, like, let's say 12,000 was a leaderboard number. Then that would be, like 0.3% of that, which is not that significant, but, you know, it just means that we need to prioritize getting a really good cobalt run more than anything. So cobalt trees generate 3 cobalt per... sorry, 1 cobalt per 3 rounds. So, if we think about it that way, we really want to be making sure that we are getting enough cobalt supply to cover 2/3 of the rounds. So for every round we want to stay alive, we need 2 out of 3 cobalt, and then we probably need a bit more than that because of repair damage. Like, just general damage you're always going to take from kind of some of the incoming stuff. So I think it's more about getting like your economy up, getting your stall up, and then kind of going from there. We can always kind of recover these multiplier stuff later. So I don't think I'm going to invest nearly as much. I still think getting this 4 early and this 2 early is super high value. And then after that, I'm not going to say I can take it or leave it, but I do think that it makes more sense to invest in other things at that point, like the meters and the lasers and the stuff. So we should be, based on our repellent, just about ready to go. We're at 1.9 cycles just now. So we have a tiny bit of time. 2, 3, and now I have to go back up. And aliens in 3, 2, 1. That's how you know. You know how the cycles work, you know how your gadgets refill, and you can use that as your gauge instead of a monster gauge. Save your 2 iron for another day. Laser complete. Oh, we want to use the repellent now. Great. So that'll give us an extra 0.25 in timing. As far as I know, it doesn't recharge while it's active and delaying, but I'm not entirely sure. I feel like I should know that, but I don't. So here we are. 1 more iron and we can upgrade our armor a little bit. But for right now, we just need to get back down into the mine. Make shadow puppets. Okay, I'm not seeing too much of interest just yet. Staying along the top for the most part. There's a little iron for us. That's what we're looking for. Do we make 1 more donation just to get our multiplier up? Don't mind it. I had 6, and that felt pretty good, point-wise, but I died, so I can't really use that as a good example. Because I could get like a jetpack upgrade, I can get a lot of stuff. Oh, I got 8. Ugh, 8 is a good number. So I could do the 4, 2, I could do 4 and 4. Let's do 4 and 4. It's really hard to continue without this gauge, though, especially the repellent throws the numbers off. And we're going to get the armor upgrade. So I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and we'll go from there. So we have a health bar. We can see that the monsters are coming very soon, and we can just take a few seconds out of the side. Yeah. Effectively, it's like shielding me by telling me when the monsters are. If the monster gauge has a tangible value, it's like giving me, half a shield gadget for 2 iron, which is totally worth it, right? Gets us in the right place every time. If we already have like the insight into the timing, then it's not technically helpful, but there's only so long you can keep that up, especially with repellent in play. But here we are, ready to go. We got a Wisp, we got a Black Friday. 1 little tiny hit coming in, and that's all. Not bad at all. We're off to the races. And our repellent is about halfway, so I would say that the 0.25 is not time that the repellent gets to recharge, because you could very quickly start seeing like chain repellent, where with how you can upgrade the production cycle and the duration, it feels like it's endless, basically. Alright, Laser 1 or Jetpack. That's a tough one. I feel like it's going to be like Jetpack, and then Laser 1, and then Mining Upgrade, and so on. Or hopefully we find our next gadget by then. Or we just go Laser 1 now to guarantee minimal damage, which allows us to then extend our rounds a bit. It's not going to be 1 cobalt worth of damage, though. If we think about how our health bar expands, and when we get that maxed out at health 2, the damage we take right now is actually quite negligible. We just need to not die, basically. So, instead of the laser, we're going for the jetpack, and we'll see how that works out for us. Down, down, down we go. Seems like nice soft earth on the left, nothing too tricky to dig through. And we find ourselves a nice little... Okay, I was happy about 4 nodes, but they all landed with 1 iron each, which feels a little lame. It's just a little underwhelming. Oh well. We continue. Alright, we have to head back up. We got the repellent up for the next time around as well. And we're ready to go. Wisp is up. We're at 5. And there we shall stay. Get ourselves a little bit more drilling power and just kind of focus on economy more than donation spam. 5x is still a good multiplier for this stage in the game. I really just need a gadget more than anything right now. Even unupgraded gadget has a lot of value. So technically speaking, I think the Kriegs do more damage than the Black Fridays when you leave them to their own devices. So I'm going to be a little bit more focused on them. They're about the same, but Craig kind of gets a little angry when you leave him alone. Repellent time. Little penguins manning the ship. And we're up to 290 points. Beautiful. Next cobalt we see we might leave, because if we find the cobalt tree, which is in the green, then we can start growing off of that. And that's going to be important for extending our rounds a bit. Some heavy stuff down here. Not so sure about this. Let's do one down and just go to the right. We also have some stuff in the top left we didn't check out fully, but back to the brick. Okay, feels like we are gonna be lacking this cycle and wishing we had a little bit more drill power. A little water. Okay, we're gonna leave that cobalt, but I'm not certain we're even going to find the tree seed. It's either that or I think the squid boy that can pick stuff up for you. Who's pretty cool too, but doesn't magically generate resources, so. 1 water. Nothing really special, no gadget to put it into. Could get a higher delay value, which I guess slows down the decay of our prestige as well. In a way. Weird. I suppose it makes sense. I want drill power though. I'm just gonna stay for drill power. And now we can just kind of chill and wait for the battle. Off to the right we've got a goal. Off to the left we've got a goal. We're gonna just wait for him to come around though. Even though his friend really wants to show off. So a bit annoying here. Taking a handful of hits from these guys. Most damage so far is just from 2 little guys that you just kind of, with slow laser speed, can't really do anything about. And we'll just have to be okay with that. Yeah, so no gadgets. Usually there's just kind of straight down, so I'm going to keep on digging down and see what we can find. Just leave these here for now, just in case we bring some other big stuff up. Technically speaking, we should be 1 to the left here. This is more manageable earth, right, at the moment. So we're going to look for that cave, see if we can find a nice early tree. Seed. If we can't, no big deal, but we do need that iron soon. We do have that iron soon. Excellent. So it's going to be tough, because this is like a layer deeper. The color makes it a little heftier to get through, and then the density, that was like a brick one. At least this was horizontal lines. So if I remember correctly, this will give me enough iron. Yeah, I was at 5 or something like that. So yeah, we'll just go up. Just gonna grab the water, but we don't need it. And that'll give us our drill power. Great. Fantastic. Battle time. Wisp up top and a goal to join him. I like the ranged units right now, it seems like. I'm gonna get the Wisp because it's a bit more annoying. And I think we just Black Friday and wait for the gold to come across. It does guarantee we'll take some damage, but that looked to be the case anyways. Go ahead and do what we need to do. Alright, repellent. And head on down. Now we should feel a lot better about our drill power. And how quickly we clear this stuff out. Any gadgets? Any gadgets on the top layer? A little water for upgrading the gadget we don't have. And a nice hefty pull. So the trick I like to do on these straight lines, I go to the left, I drop a few off, so I'm at a normal speed, and then if I don't do that part, I can then slide it to the left using the pieces that I am carrying as like a momentum thing, a driving force to push them through, and it doesn't count against your weight capacity. Just a little trick. It's not really that big of a deal, but especially when you have the lift and you're just trying to get things to the middle, it's pretty efficient to keep your carry capacity low and just shove things along. Sometimes you gotta reinvent the wheel. Is it faster to go all the way around or dig all the way through? I guess if I hit the gray, it'd be better, but we're here now. Not much time. Not feeling great about our timing, but I did want to finish this up so I don't have to come back. Or feel like I need to come back, rather. Way I can take some hits, which always sucks. And it's bubbles, which is not too bad. We're probably going to take damage from what comes after the bubbles, but for now, we have 11. Can consider some donations here. Again, I don't want to get too greedy, though. I'm not fully close to anywhere near armor. I'm going to need this stuff as well. Carry capacity is important, but let's do some laser. Yeah, if I'm going to spend it on anything, I actually do want to spend it on that. I'll do the water because 3 water isn't going really anywhere right now. I guess I could spend it on this, right? Which is actually pretty important. Yeah, we'll get the slow. Slow is so good. I didn't really look at wither. What is it? Additional 50% bonus damage for a few seconds. And I can't see the other upgrades because we are gone. Oh, and the paralysis is another option. So either I do get debilitate, and then I can choose to either upgrade it into better slow that lasts longer, or I can upgrade it into paralysis that stuns monsters for shorter duration. So it's 100% slowdown. It gets 2 uses for 2 seconds, so it's like an on-demand stun. And you get up to 3 uses for 3 seconds. I like 70% slow for 16 seconds compared to 100% slow for 9 seconds, but that might not be all that sensible. It just depends on how long the rounds last, really. Like, if most of the enemies are done in let's say, split the difference here, and say, like, 12, 13 seconds. If most enemies majority of the enemies are down within 12 to 13 seconds, it sounds like the stun is better. But, hard to say. For now, we're just got that extra 3 water, and we're going to throw it out here and get our points. Battle time. Alright. I'm not taking nearly as much damage as I thought I would for the timing. We're going to take the full wisp on the left, and that's about it. And that's not even a chair issue. So we get away with it a little bit, but we have to keep an eye on our timing for sure. Still no gadget. Is this just in no gadget mode? Maybe that's what, when we saw the scoreboard, maybe it's just like, yep, this is what you started with, and this is what you get. Because I guess they don't want too much variance when you're talking about leaderboards. You just want to show like how good you are as an individual. But I still like exploring the different build orders that the different gadgets offer to you. And then, like, I don't know, it's the whole roguelike aspect to it. So I have 2 spots that have cobalt attached. No guarantee for the cave or the tree seed just yet. Oh, found some iron, luckily. And we will be able to take that to the bank. I don't think my carry capacity is that high right now, though. But we'll go ahead and just take all this out real quick, and then leave most of it. 5 of you are coming with me. I don't see any reason I shouldn't just pop up here, grab a few of these, drop a couple of those, and get ourselves an armor upgrade. No, 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 we want you. I was trying to drop an iron. But if it's between... I really wanted to keep a cobalt, but I also don't want to be super late. I guess the debilitate just came up. Alright, I got my slow. So we don't get the armor this time around, which is unfortunate. And we don't have really any upgrades to speak of. So, time to debilitate and fight. Rock time. This is going to be tough. What do? We bubble, because the slow is off. If the slow stayed on, we would not worry about the bubbles, but we need to. And the rock's pretty quick, but we take it down, and we have enough time to take on our Black Friday and come back around. Or I thought it did, but we're a little slow still. This laser takes a while. So the rock is going to make it through, and that's unfortunate. Because now we definitely have to repair, even though we just got enough cobalt for our 5 armor. Them's the breaks, though. At least we get our repellent out. It gives us a little bit of time. We could just go for the HP upgrade for the dome. Actually, I kind of got lost here. Where am I? Am I going just hard to the right or down? Looks like down. There's my stuff. That's where I was looking for. We're gonna go left early because then we don't have to deal with the higher tier brick, and we can go ahead and bring this stuff up. Do we want to bring more? I suppose we can. I didn't see how close I was to carry capacity upgrade, but there's some good iron down here, that's for sure. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm curious how much the RNG they're happy with having. I kind of feel like the roguelike aspect of finding cool upgrades and combining them together is just kind of missed out on if you just go to see what RNG has to offer. So yeah, we'll do this instead of the cobalt spend, and that gives us the room to build the armor. And also, when we actually do use the cobalt to repair, it's going to be that much stronger because of the higher health. And now what? We don't have a higher carry capacity just yet, because we got the health upgrade, which is warranted, because we don't want to die. Nice iron node. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about the gadgets finds anymore, because it literally might not be an option here. Didn't I have Drillbert in the last one, though? I think I found Drillbert. I think I did. So yeah, I teleported or Drillbert, and I said, I don't know how long this is going to go. So yeah, I guess gadgets exist, and I'm just not finding any. Well, what do you know? This is perfect carry capacity. But if I don't get laser 1 at by this round, I'm like on round 8. If I don't get that, then I feel pretty bad. So we're going to get that, and we'll get carry capacity next. Time to turn the laser. Okay. And the wisp. Only got 1 shot. Now we take on our Black Friday shopper. And cleared it. Not bad at all. So we're happy with that. Still took some damage, but that's how it be. Alright. Need to work towards our next objective. Yeah, but I can't imagine it's like the same map. It still has to all be like procedurally generated and stuff. So like, there's gonna be some variance no matter how you look at it. Brick in the way. At least it's gray. We can probably still hammer through it. Bringing up 7, I'm hoping that's enough. I forget if we had 1 left over. And I'll be damned if I'm going to spend water on it. Yeah, we had some left over. Perfect. Didn't even need to carry that much. Repellent is very close, but very close is not there. And it's always deceptively far, because it's, 1.9. You only have 1/10 of the level left when it fills up. And at that time, you're like, what's the point? So, here I be, clearing out. Oh, not clearing out, running away. Race against time. We'll be fine. Just head right up here. Do our thing. And stick with what we have. Not too much stress about it. Alright, we got a nice big slinker on the left. A beefy boy. But not gonna be too hard to just lay into him, even without the level 2 laser. And repellent time. Bam. So yeah, we really want to put water into the repellent. So I guess it's not that bad we don't have a gadget, but feels like we are behind compared to where we normally would be. There we are. I'm glad this was hard to... there's most of the times I would just skip an area like that because of the brick. But I'm glad I did finally come back and find what I needed, because we knew it was up here somewhere. I think I remember seeing the autocannon on the leaderboard quite a bit. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I gotta say it's better than the probe, right? Most things are. It's a probe. What to do. Let's hang out. So how does this work? We've got improved autocannon. Like a machine gun or heavy bullets. I like the fast firing. I don't know, it's more satisfying. Shotgun is like big, close proximity, spread. Every 4 seconds, and this one's like every 0.45 seconds. Seems just bigger shots, smaller shots. I don't know. We'll just leave it as is. It's not a priority to upgrade it, I don't think. But I am surprised to see that it was so commonly used. Must be a decently scaling option. I'm not sure. Alright, I don't like all the brick on the right side, so I'm actually going to do a vertical alignment here. Just something I don't usually do, but yeah. Gotta work around it. It's tough to dig into. Okay, we're good. Go a little bit deeper this way. And I think we'll get past most of this brick. Or dig right into it. One of the two. Alright, we're going down instead. Just trying to get something new before we... Oh, there we go. We'll be a bit slow here, but might be worth it. Gadgets can be really good. I like how the assessor, the wizard guy, can handle these gadgets, because he actually throw them ahead of them and then catch them again. And you can actually like really limit how much it takes away from you. Condenser is free water, which certainly has value. And like I was saying, I'm not a big fan of the probe. I think we'll end up getting more resources through a default probe than a default condenser, though. Yeah, we'll try it out. Just gotta remember what button it is, and more importantly, though, I guess I'm biased because The only time that I got the probe before, I'd barely used it at all. Like, I just kind of forgot it was there, and that's not really a fair test for it. It definitely can have value. Anywho, let's go. And by that I mean leave the battle station and die. So I don't have any cobalt. I don't really have any choice but to get beat on, as I take forever to take down the slinker. And I think my cannon just killed that rock, which is nice. I appreciate that, Mr. Cannon. Already showing off what he can add to the team. So this charges my probe, but I don't really need to do that because I just got it. But this will allow me to see if it's worth it to like dig into these deeper brick parts, or if I can just skip them. So let's go ahead and hit the button here. And we find the jackpot. We can go ahead and dig from the top, but we'll just do this. And that is something I probably wouldn't have bothered with if I didn't know. So Mr. Probe is giving me some iron. Let's see how we can use it. Next time monsters spawn, I cannot be late. I have to be early. I do not have cobalt. I think there's cobalt in the top left, though. I was kind of saving it. So maybe I just go back and get that real quick. Maybe that makes a difference. Alright, got that guy. And away we go. Okay. So I'm gonna do this. Then use this. Okay, so it activates. It doesn't really follow you, unfortunately. I'd like to kind of activate it and then run by things, but I guess that would be OP. So it just sends out a pulse from a singular location and puts us where we are now. Let's charge it back up and go from there. Alright, this is definitely a cobalt time. No doubt about it. I mean, I could do health upgrading than cobalt, but I feel like that's gonna set us too far away from drill. So we'll do drill and cobalt. And if we die, we die. But you know, we gotta try to make the most of what we have. Bing, bing. All right. Black Friday is closed. No more discounts. Please be with your families. Alright, we're taking a lot of hits. We're waiting for the birds to kind of go to the left a bit. And we make it there. Big rock coming in. We get there. Alright. Hanging in there, hanging in there. Repellent's up. Got our probe ready to... Oh, shoot. I was not prepping for that for some reason. We're fine, though. And probe's good, so... 8 points left. What does that mean? 8 times 6. We can do a lot better than that, surely. Alright, probe activate. Tell me what you see. That way. And so we shall. Yeah, the less cobalt we use for health purposes, the more we can use it towards the round timer thing. And the sooner we get that back up to like 10, I guess is like the most realistic I can be about it. I'm not too sure. Anyways, the better off we'll be. So we need laser 2 for sure. And everything else can come second to that. Charge up the probe. And head on out. So we mostly learned that there wasn't that much to the left side there or to the right side there. Not entirely true. There could be empty caves and stuff we want to get to, which kind of leaves a lot of information out, but, you know, we research what we can. Okay, there's one thing there. I'll finish it up. Get this cobalt. Bring it back to the base. Move, move, move. Oh, wait. Does it cost more cobalt each time you upgrade the level? Because that will add up a lot. That will add up a lot. Now that I think about it. If it costs like 1, 2, 4, 8, like that kind of thing, just to get +1, we're gonna feel it. We're already feeling it, because we're absent when we should be present. And we got big ol'... Okay, the Slinkers are gonna kill us all. I don't really know what to say. I'm gonna say it's laser time. The signature catchphrase. It's laser time. That's what the kids are saying these days. Alright, ready, set, get the rock somehow. Yep, we're the best. Oh man. I guess we do this and wait for the wisp to move. And bam. Not that bad, all things considered. Probe it up. Not what we wanted. That's true. But we'll be alright. I'm just gonna dig down until I just have a big black wall on either side. Just say, probe, what's worth my time? Where am I going? Nowhere. Nowhere but here. That's a nice node. That's a nice little node. Alright. Yeah, allows me to kind of focus in on it. Don't think I'm going to be able to really memorize where I have and haven't probed, though. So there's going to be plenty of times where I, like, scanned it, like, to, like, let's say 1 wave ago. And I'll come back to it and be like, you sure? I don't know. Can't just, like, mark it with torches or something saying, no good. Wonder what if, like, if somebody did a... this is not called Ascension, it's called something else, but Prestige. I wonder if they did a Prestige mode for like Minecraft, and people were like all about efficient mining and resource gathering techniques and stuff like that, what that would look like. I'm sure there's something along those lines out there. One of these 2 games was really popular. And it's not Dome Keeper. 10... Super slow time? I like super slow time. Could get the delay improvement. I'm really not sure about this. So it seems like the point values apply after each battle. So in theory, this gives us more time, but I'm not sure. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Alright. And we'll go and slow him up. And knock him down. Show us what you got. Should I be upgrading my autocannon? Alright, so I have some fun little pet names for each of these creatures, but not this guy up top. He makes a cool sound when he dies. He bombs stuff. I was gonna call him Bombos after Link to the Past, but I don't really know. He's just like a little moth dude flying across the top of the screen. Minding his own business, dropping some projectiles. So, if you have any ideas for what the Bombos little fella up top should be named, please let me know in the comments. I'm very curious. I got a lot of the names. You look at him and you know that's his name. That's what he's called. You just know it. But that guy up top, I'm not too sure. Weathervanes? Not too sure. Alright, we got a seed. But that is the problem with the seed, is it takes so long. Alright, I think that's going to be a cobalt. Maybe just a water. It's a cobalt. Great. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to set up our seed right here. Give it a nice little spot to grow. And send it over there. So, think right there. Cool, cool. And that should give us cobalt. The problem is, it takes like 9 rounds. What is this thing again? I think I've seen it before, but I don't remember at all what it does. So I'm gonna just finish mining this stuff. And then... Oh, okay. It's... Oh, wow. Okay. I remember this thing now. Well, let's go deep with it, right? I guess we have to carry all this stuff up, which is annoying, but... If I just move a little bit to the right and stop digging this stuff down further... Okay, this is stuff I carried with me, or... Yeah, okay. Sorry. I'm getting a little... weird about this, but watch what happens. So I drop this thing, and then it goes... Kaboom! And we find a nice chunk of iron. I need to get to the top real quick. I took resources down rather than up, which is kind of bad. But other than that, I'm really happy with the fact that I was able to utilize that bomb in a pretty good way, in a pretty deep cavern, and oh my gosh, I'm dying already. But yeah, I wanted to dig it down deeper. I probably should just let go of everything else and just try to pick up the bomb, drop the bomb where I wanted it, and then everything works out. But, you know, I was just kind of reacting to the situation. Anyways, here we are. A lot of damage coming in from these little roaches. None of this is cobalt, right? Because the cobalt is being grown upon, which means I'm screwed. I don't have any more health upgrades. I don't have nothing. I have a nice strong slow, but these roaches are already so close. These little, what's that peanut thing? It's like a cashew. I'll call them cashews. That's a great name for them. And the cashews are going to kill me. So, nice to meet you, cashews. Now, I die. They do freeze whenever you hit them, which is kind of cool, but we're dead. Alright. So, I have a little bit better on score. We're kind of getting the flow for it, but it still needs more defense. And even more so, I just need to be earlier. I just need to be earlier. We look at our friend's score. We're nearly the best friend of all. So this isn't... Okay, so this isn't... It looks like the autocannon in terms of the icon. But if I'm actually comparing it, this guy had a sword, right? So this is actually laser, a laser symbol. So it's laser engineer repellent, which is kind of been my go-to for a while. So it seems like that is kind of like the preferred thing. But this guy, Cracked Egg, in Season 2, was able to make a very high score of 13,000 off of a sword build. So definitely viable. You'll notice that there's not a single assessor in sight. You'll see all variations. You'll see repellent, you'll see shield, you'll see even the orchard. Swords, lasers, every single thing, but the one thing you don't see is a little wizard face in the middle there. And that's because he's kind of bad. He's interesting, but also kind of bad. And I feel like if he's going to be that technical and that skill ceiling, maybe you just make it a little bit more rewarding. I don't know. It's a little late for that. But I have improved my rank to 1066, and that is going to be it for the night. So, this has been Domekeeper. Neither dome was kept. It's a bit of a misnomer, but we do what we can. One day, we will be able to build our rocket to the stars and send what riches this planet has to offer into the depths of space. But for now, we're just gonna keep some domes and get some sleep. You have a good night.